So I don't know, man. Like, maybe I'm just too obsessed with numbers and stuff, but it seems to me like numbers are really piling up, aren't they? They didn't need to have a war in Russia or Ukraine. That is all their fault. It's all their fault. They pushed NATO on Ukraine. Pushed NATO on Ukraine. Trump wouldn't have done that. So all those people in Ukraine and Russia dying, their homes being blown up, they gotta move out, they're dying. It's a lot big number. I bet it's a big number. And Russia and Ukraine, they supply wheat to everybody, and now they're not going to be able to eat nothing. You're going to starve to death. So that's part of the numbers they murdered too, isn't it? I figure it is, dude. So they killed all those people in Ukraine and Russia. Now they're going to starve people because Ukraine and Russia, they produce fertilizer. Food's going to get more expensive over the entire world, because you need fertilizer to grow food. So it's going to get more expensive everywhere. People are going to die from that too, for a war that didn't need to happen. It didn't need to happen. A couple of guys, okay, the BLM, how much chaos did it cause? How many did it kill? You'd never be able to calculate, but it'd be a lot, man. Probably an extra 25 people every weekend. 50 a day. 50 a day. A lot of people get screwed up, not just killed. I mean, you got to take into consideration all of it. Broken lives, broken families, people getting raped, the drug addiction problems, all of that stuff. And that's BLM, just BLM. So, yeah, so I'm saying, not everybody gets killed. One old lady, these guys steal her car and had to kick her out of the car first. And she drives, and they drive off. The problem was that the lady had not quite gotten out of the car, and they closed the door on her arm, sped off. And I guess old ladies' arms aren't very well connected to their bodies because they ripped her arm off. And I think that they fucking knew that she was inside the car. I think they did. Driver, I think he did. We'll see. All the damage they did to Latin American countries, encouraging coyotes to push everybody out of their homelands and then across the border so they can be involved in prostitution and drug smuggling and all of that. The numbers will never be calculated. The extra deaths because of BLM and all that. I bet that's around 10, 20 a day. That's an extra 10, 20 people a day get killed. That's not the rapes, the gun crime, all of that insanity that would have increased because of that. And what was it? So you got the war in Russia, you got the border, you've got BLM, you've got Afghanistan. Biden owed money to China. They got dirt on him and Biden, so he gave him $85 billion worth of equipment in Afghanistan. Left them Bagram Air Base. It's 400 miles from China, 500 miles from Iran or something too. Like, the Bagram Air Base probably would have been a good thing to hang on to. What do you think? So what is it? The slaughter. I just want to focus on the slaughter for a while. You got the war, you got the border, you got BLM. I don't know. Is that enough? And there was the loss in faith in everything. Absolutely everything. The election process, the media, the schools. Everybody thinks that the whole thing is gone batshit crazy. Everybody's anxious. Okay, here's another one. With all the
overreaction to the COVID, that killed people. That killed a lot of people. That screwed up a lot of people's lives. What are these? What more are these people are responsible for? The humiliation for Canada. The world is really aware. Like, it's amazing how many different news organizations around the world report on Justin Trudeau. They think that we are not only stupid and deluded and perverse, um, and as much as you would like to say, oh, it's all Trudeau, obviously, Trudeau is the end result of a process that started about 100 years ago with German, as it originated, in fact, uh, communists. When they about 200 years ago, they thought, okay, the way that it. I think this is actually where critical theory comes from. The word critical theory. It's certainly not critical thinking. Critical theory is you're going to just criticize everything constantly. It doesn't matter if your criticism is valid, based on evidence, logical, sensible, good for anybody. Just 100% criticize constantly. Just criticize, criticize, criticize. On the basis of the assumption that white men in particular are like kind of a uniquely evil, and they need to be disenfranchised from the efforts of their labor. And this is where you come to.